The round mound of Cavatown. Ian Beckles in the house. What's going on, buddy?
What's good, man? Everything good?
Everything's good. Everything's good. What kind of shirt you wearing?
It's
Nice.
NFLPA issued shirt.
Oh, I thought it
Uh,
said. I thought it said slimmer on there. It said
nah,
summer.
definitely not.
Summer. You're slimmer than you were
When?
playing days.
No,
Yes.
no. I weigh more than I played when I was playing days. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Really?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Wow.
The scales don't lie.
Oh man. Yeah. No, and the offensive line doesn't lie either. Do you watch any of that USF Miami game?
Yeah. Games are won in the trenches, my friend.
There's
It doesn't
levels to
matter
this
who the
shit, ain't
quarterback.
there? There's levels to this shit, huh?
It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Like you may think you're fast, and you might be fast against Boise State, but when you go against them 5 stars, it's a lot of stars.
How'd Chambo do Friday?
36-6. 2-0. 3-0. Sorry, 3-0.
Whoa.
We play I think Spoto next. We're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting better slowly, definitely.
How's the offensive line looking?
Substantially better. Like everybody always
Really?
says I'm about woe is me, and I'm about as real as can be. Like at the beginning we sucked. Okay,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
terrible. And now we're starting to get some players in and some kids that used to play a little bit. And we just got a center in last week who could snap and play. So you put a couple kids who have played before in the mix. Like it's coaching some kid who's never played the position is very hard. But if you play the position, it makes it 50% easier. So it's getting easier. We don't look bad.
That's good. Good for you guys, man. Good for you guys. Uh Luke Gedeke and him being in the lineup tonight is going to be paramount. But what I want to see tonight, and I want to get your opinion on this, as much as, they're probably going to get theirs, right? You have two outstanding pass rushers in Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. It's a makeshift offensive line. I don't expect them to be able to put forth the same performance you saw last week against Atlanta. But Houston's got one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. And then they traded away their left tackle in Laramie Tunsil last year, who was easily their best offensive lineman. This is the game for Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick, isn't it, Beck? All the talk, obviously, locally is going to be about our offensive line, but their offensive line is trash. It's been trash for the last couple of years. This is Hassan Reddick, this is why you paid the guy the money, and this is why Yaya Diaby, in everybody's mind, is going to be a 10-sack guy, right?
Well, I never said Yaya was going to be a 10-sack guy because I don't really see it in him. I see a good football player in Yaya. I like the way he plays. Reddick has got to be the guy. I mean, he's the guy. He's a double-digit guy. Yaya doesn't have 15 sacks in him. He doesn't have that wiggle. He doesn't, because sometimes the guys that have the ability to have 15 sacks also they take themselves out of position a lot. Yaya's more of a physical pound you all day long, and you need those type of players. Like you need some Shaq Barrett's, and you also need some Will Golstons. You see what I'm saying? Yaya's more of a physical type guy. Reddick is more of the get the field and disrupt the game. I don't know if we'll ever see Yaya Diaby take over a game. I think you might be able to see Reddick do it. As far as the game tonight, I'm more concerned. Like I didn't love our pass rush last week. I think we can get after him a little bit. If we stop the run. But I'm really concerned about our offensive line against their defensive line. I think that's going to be the difference maker.
What about so we've talked a lot about running the football and how offensive linemen love to go forward rather than pass protecting going backwards. I feel like tonight, if the Buccaneers don't run the football between 25 and 30 times, they're going to be in trouble.
Well, to me, this is a game where we're going to find out what Grizzard's mentality is, okay?
Right.
Because you can say anything you want in the offseason. We heard it forever. We've heard it forever. We're going to be a run team. We're going to be a run team. We're going to be a run team. And last year we became one almost without the mentality because we didn't pound that many people. We just ended up with a lot of rushing yards. Now, the whole offseason, we heard about how we're going to rush, Well, this is a game without your left tackle on the road with a makeshift offensive line where if you don't run the ball, I don't like you to win the game. And you won the game last week despite not running the ball all that efficiently, but let's not do that again. And if you keep on, it's not going to get any easier than this. You got to establish that run to where the Bucs go out every Sunday or every Monday, and they say to themselves, we're going to rush for 120 yards. That's it. And you can't stop us. And the teams that have the ability to do that are the ones that win every single Sunday, okay? And like we can only name a handful of them right now, but I guarantee they're winning every single Sunday. So the Bucs got to kind of get forward and progress to that mentality. I just don't think they're there yet.
I saw your. Did you see the final score of your Indiana guys last week?
I did. I was scared to put money on them, but I don't think the spread was 73. I did see what my Hoosiers did. They started off a little rocky, and then they picked it up a little bit. My guy picked it up.
73, bro.
73, baby.
My
Go Hoosiers.
God.
Go Hoosiers.
They look. I mean, it's nice to be able to have a team that whoops ass like that. You know, not bad at
the
all.
Hoosiers have always done well out of conference. When it gets into conference, they usually struggle. But they're a different squad now. Now I feel good that they definitely got over a hump. Last year they got over a hump to not be like Indiana was unlike a lower tier Big Ten team for a while. This new coach has definitely got them over and some kind of a hump for sure.
When you look at Philly and Kansas City right now, I mean, Philly doesn't have to play their best ball and they can win. And Chris Jones was talking smack to Jalen Hurts, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't even get 100 yards." And Jalen Hurts is like, "Shut up, we won."
Right.
And I look at Travis Kelce dropping passes. I just is the reign for Kansas City over?
I don't want to say it's over yet, but
more signs than we've seen in the last couple of years.
Well, here comes the but. But I've never seen them look like this.
Right.
They just don't look. They don't look right. Like you can lose a game and go, but I can still see it. Yesterday I just saw one thing: Patrick Mahomes being great.
That's it.
And that's not going to continue to get you.
Looked like the Super Bowl, didn't it?
It looked like the Super Bowl. Yep. Every time things were breaking down, he was getting out of the pocket and doing things. And without Patrick Mahomes, if you had an immobile quarterback, they don't score a point yesterday. So I just don't like. And I know Patrick Mahomes is at the point of his career where if somebody's open, he's going to hit him. Okay, it's not like guys are standing there wide open and they're not getting the ball. So Travis is not the same. He's Hollywood now, and that's factual. Is that a tough catch at the end? Yes, but he would have made it 2 years ago. Yep. He definitely, that's him. Like every time the ball hit his hands, he caught it. So he doesn't seem to be the same player.
And I wonder about that too. How fair is it to be able to say that a guy is not as focused as he once was because he's in the public eye? Is that fair to say?
Well, I don't know him. Okay, I didn't know him before or after T Swizzle or whatever they call it. But I do know this: there's certain things. Okay, in an off season after you win a Super Bowl, when you hear of guys, going on the chicken circuit or whatever they call it, where guys are going on banquets and this and that and the other, that's a lot of people pulling you a lot of different ways, and it's impossible to be completely focused to something when you're got some focus on something else. Like people always say, were you ever were you getting ready for life after football while you played football? I go, there's no time, because then you'll be taking away from football. It's got to be all football. And you can't tell me that Travis Kelce's all football right now when he's engaged to Taylor Swift. I don't give a crap, because Taylor is worth more money than the NFL to him right now. So I'm not saying that's the reason why he dropped that ball. And he is getting on in age, and he's been great for a long, long time. But it just, I don't know. The focus, he's not the same player, that's for sure.
You and I had this conversation after the season last year when everybody was clamoring for Liam Cohen to stay around and not Todd Bowles. And now Jacksonville's got a video of Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen yelling at his quarterback and Trevor Lawrence waving Liam Cohen off at the sideline. And I think back to everybody that was so aboard the Liam Cohen train. Can you imagine Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield having that interaction on the field? I couldn't. I don't think Todd Bowles would say that to him. I just don't think that's how their interaction would be. I feel like the Bucs dodged a bullet there.
Well, my thing is, listen, Liam Cohen, I'm happy for him to get that job. Good for you. I want to see everybody succeed. But afterwards, they're like, it wasn't a big deal. I would say BS to the 15th power, okay? Because I guarantee when they get back to behind closed doors, he's gonna go, yo, Sunshine, come over here. Let me tell you something, all right? You don't wave me off no goddamn more, all right? We ain't gonna do that, because you wave me off, everybody's looking like you're allowed to do that. He ain't gonna wave Bill Parcells off. He ain't waving Tony Dungy off.
No doubt.
There's a lot of coaches he ain't waving off. So Sunshine needs to figure out the ways to do stuff, and that's not the way. And the thing is, he hasn't earned it. This ain't Tom Brady. He hasn't earned it yet. So, I mean, he's in a tough situation, and I thought we overblew all of our. I thought Canales was overblown. I thought Cohen was overblown as well.
Yeah, give me another example of, if you can remember, coordinators turned head coaches that were just in over their heads. Do you remember that from your playing days or anything like that? Sure, there was a ton.
Nobody has a better story than Richard Williamson was our head coach my second year. My first year, Ray Perkins was the coach, and he got fired with 3 games left, and that was a debacle. He came in, he goes, "I've been fired. I'd like to give the last 3 games to Richard Williamson," and that's the first time Richard Williamson heard about it. So Richard Williamson has his big eyes like, "What?" So now we all find out at the same time Richard Williamson is going to be our head coach for the last 3 games. I think we went 2-1 or 1-2 and didn't look bad. Everybody was like, "Okay, let's get Richard back to be the coach. He's a player's coach," and so we all talk to everybody, and Richard gets the job. All right. Long story short, we ended up being 3-13 that year, and he went from saying, "I'm a player's coach. Get over here and I'll listen to what you guys say," to, "You guys can all kiss my ass." He almost said that at the middle. "I don't care about you guys anymore. It's about me." And then he completely lost the locker room, and it got real bad towards the end.
What's that conversation like in the locker room between the players? What do you and Tony?
What
do you and Tony talk? Yeah, but I mean, there's got to be, and I'm not saying it has to be an in-depth conversation, but
yeah.
What is that type of, like, with you and Tony? Like, are there like side eyes? Like, is this motherfucker serious? You know what I mean? Is it like time like that over? Not saying you guys are like breaking bread, like that guy sucks, but I'm sure, like, is there stuff that you hear? Like, is there drills when you're out there and you're looking at Tony like, are we really doing this kind of thing?
Well, it's really never talked about. Like, I never heard anybody say, "Well, he's losing the locker room." Never heard anything like that.
But you feel it, though.
But you 100% feel it. Like, there were situations where Sam White, okay? Sam and Alvin didn't get along at all. You heard? And, like, things would happen, and, me and Tony would look at each other like, where the hell are we? Like this doesn't happen to teams that are winning, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The head coach / offense coordinator doesn't bicker with the star wide receiver and the quarterback, not on winning teams. So you can't hide it from the players, because either the coach has the utmost respect or he loses it. Once he loses it, I don't think it can be. You can get it back. I think it's impossible.
Is there like a bar? Like, is there a guy? You see this we talk about this a lot in any aspect of life where, like, you have a friend that hates everything. He just can't stand. He's always bitching and moaning. He's always complaining about somebody, like Bert. And then you have friends that aren't mad about anything, and all of a sudden, like, they don't like somebody, and you're like, damn, like, if that person doesn't like him, there probably is something wrong with them. Is it like that in the locker room too, where it's just like, well, everybody's on board. That guy kind of does his own thing anyway. Doesn't really care. But there's like that tipping point where, like, man, even that guy's not on board. These guys really lost the plot.
Well, I never, even in my real life, in my, life outside of football, I never really care what other people think of other people. I never really did, because sometimes people say that guy's a bad person, and when I meet the person, he's the furthest from a bad person. He's just the realest person I ever met. Like, some people don't like real people. You see what I'm saying? And in the locker room, it's the exact same way. If I sit there and I hear I'm some peon, rookie talking about how he's being disrespected or how this or that, I'm not going to listen to it. If I hear Hardy Nickerson say something negative about a coach, I'm going to listen.
Right.
If I hear Derek Brooks say these guys don't know what they're talking about, I'm going to listen, because I know Derek ain't just going to come out and say that. So it doesn't happen that often where you see the revolt, but you feel it and you almost know what's happening, even if you're not part of it. Because I don't like to get involved with the politics, because the politics don't really mean anything to me as long as I got a job. That's the most important thing, and I'm trying to worry about right guard, and that's about it right now. So I try to stay away from the politics, but you see the politics happen, and I just wasn't one of those, locker room politician type cats.
What do you make of the Buccaneers' struggles during primetime games? Because now Baker's even saying it too. He's like, yeah, I don't like to wait all day. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that. But it's like, if you're one of the best teams in the league, you're going to play Mondays, you're going to play Thursdays, you're going to play Sunday nights. Like, this is just, it comes with the territory. Never in my life did I ever hear Tom Brady or Peyton Manning complain about playing in primetime. Like, I think you would want to. I think you would want to be that one game that's on in front of the nation, right?
Well, Tony Dungy instilled this in me specifically. He said something his first year. He said, "The team that wins the Super Bowl is going to be the team that can deal with all the outside noise." And if he goes, if you can't deal with the outside noise, you won't succeed. And this is outside noise. There's no way you could stay in routine if it's a Monday night game. You have to be out of your routine. You just got to figure it out, though. So, and the championship teams don't bitch and moan about things. They just don't. I like Baker Mayfield's attitude. I like Tom Brady's attitude better. Whether I don't give a shit if I play in a parking lot on Wednesday, I like that attitude better. But this Buccaneer team, sometimes things are almost an anomaly. I mean, you play two a year. Usually, you're playing the better teams. I hate to Baker to say that it's because he's out of his routine because the other team is as much out of their routine. So,
Right.
um, to me, it's just one of those things where if you wait 4 weeks and flip a coin, it might come up heads every time. That could happen.
Did you see that interview with Tom Brady and Joel Klatt from last week about a quarterback's responsibility?
I did not.
I'm going to send it to you, man, because you will love it. He's sitting there and he's talking about how the only quarterback in the National Football League that he thinks gets it is Patrick Mahomes. Because he goes, all right, it's not about the stats. He goes, I didn't care how many yards I threw for. I don't care how many touchdowns. I wanted to win. He goes, you have so many quarterbacks in the league. They're all. I'm worried about stats and I'm worried about touchdowns. I'm worried about MVPs. He goes, that's you. That's only what you're doing. He's like, how are you making your defense better? How can you make your personnel department better? How can you make your front office better? How can you make sure that you're bringing guys into here that's going to contribute to the winning? What part of the game plan are you talking? Like, he had his hand in so many different things in New England. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, it does take that. It's almost an obsession, right? To be the best of the best. And I feel like nowadays, not just in the NFL, but you see this in the NBA a lot. And you and I love, the NBA, but guys are so focused on Joel Embiid was so I'm heartbroken that he didn't win MVP. Like, dude, you haven't even made an NBA final. Like, I understand wanting to be the best. I get that. But it's like, I feel like the intention of a lot of the athletes nowadays, it's not winning at all costs. It's not winning as a team, because if they do that, they're six. Like, Tom Brady's, was he the most accurate passer? Did he have the best arm? Did he have the most MVPs? Did he throw for the most yards? No, we look at him because he's the greatest, because he won the most championships. It's just such an ass backwards thing from a lot of other people. What do you make of that? I know it's only secondhand because of from what I told you, but
Yeah.
it's an obsession, isn't it?
Well, if you ask me if Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play, I'm going to say no. Okay. If you ask me if he's the best leader, I would say probably. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best competitors, I would say probably. Uh, Michael Jordan assessing other basketball players ain't gonna be good. You heard me though? It's just not. You're talking about the guy who was the top guy as far as focus. So he don't see nobody else focusing like him. So he can't see it. It's like me assessing my Chamberlain offensive lineman. It's almost similar. Like, they're not me. I know that. And so I like the fact that he puts Patrick Mahomes in that echelon, upper echelon. I'm okay with that. Here's the issue that I have. Uh, we'll use Lamar and Josh Allen, who are two fantastic football players. The thing that I don't know is if you put Josh Allen on all of those Super Bowl teams that Brady won, that they wouldn't have won. If you put Lamar on those teams, how the hell are you going to stop that? So to say somebody's the best at something is tough. And to say that, like, what else does Josh Allen have to do as a leader than have his team up with 10 seconds left in the AFC Championship numerous times?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what Brady's saying. That's what
Yeah.
he answered that question. And that's why I think it's so it's so interesting, because I said the same thing initially. Like, what more can the guy do? Well, if Tom Brady's saying there is more that you can do, are you working in the office?
What would Brady have done if he scored with 10 seconds left and they had to kick off to Kansas City? What would Brady have done?
No, but that's situational. So that we're looking at it like it's only there. So Tom Brady is saying that, well, maybe if you work more with your wide receivers and the tight ends in the offseason, maybe if you work more with your defense, maybe you work more with your personnel department, maybe if you work more on the game plan, you don't even get to that situation. You're up 14 instead of 7. So instead of saying like, yeah, it would be different right there, Brady's saying if you work on the entire scheme schematically from before the season to now, you don't even get into a spot like that, because then you and I both know, just like the Seattle Super Bowl, just like the Giants Super Bowl with the Patriots, then sometimes it's a little bit of a coin flip, right? The fact that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, as great as they are, have not even gotten to a Super Bowl. And I know it's circumstantial because you're playing with Patrick Mahomes, but you start thinking if it's tough for the normal football experts, if it's tough for a former NFL player like yourself, a guy like me, you and I talk about so many different aspects of the game. That's why I truly believe our discussions are helpful, not just for us, but I feel like for everybody that watches us. To get that advice, to get that type of mindset from arguably the greatest quarterback ever, that's where it gets me thinking, Beck. It gets me thinking because I was with you. What more can they do? They're MVPs. But Brady's like, guys, it's more than that. And it's hard because we live in the day where everybody's so like clickbaity, and I'm just going to say shit to piss people off. But Tom Brady's like giving us this thing, and it's that's such like expert level calculus of the quarterback position, because nobody can understand that what they're not doing other than guys like him and Mahomes. Like there's like 5, 10, 15 guys on the planet that have ever walked this earth that can understand. And I think it goes above my head, probably goes above a bunch of other people's heads. But I guess that's what Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have to do in order to be all-time greats, Beck, because listen, if they keep down this path, they'll win some MVPs. But Allen got hurt yesterday in the Jets game. Lamar still runs the football. You and I cringe every time we watch Josh Allen play, like we did a couple years ago against that game against Pittsburgh. Like, running quarterbacks don't always age gracefully. So they're kind of in that honey hole right now where it looks like Mahomes is going down. I hope they listen to what Tom Brady is saying, because they got to strike while the iron's hot, because the page turns quickly.
But this is my thing, all right? And I don't disagree with what Tom Brady's saying. He's like, work harder, be more, and that's great. That's great. But we don't know we don't know that Josh Allen doesn't prepare more than Tom Brady. We don't know that. It just turned out different for Tom Brady.
Yeah, do you though?
No, but but Jay,
let's use Ian Beckles quote. If you had to bet your house on it, did anybody? He said about the Super Bowl and they beat the Chiefs. He said, I knew exactly every single play that they ran. Every single play. Like, you don't hear that from Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Yeah, but maybe they're not bragging on it as much. But listen, if you know every single play, that's great. But how is knowing every single play going to stop the other team from scoring in 10 seconds? And you can say that we're all going to be ready. But the reason why New England won so many Super Bowls was because at the end of the game, you're not scoring on that defense with 10 seconds.
Right.
Because Belichick was the brilliance of Belichick and all those brilliant defensive players. But that's not Brady. It's some football and sports, there has to be an element of luck to it, okay? If there's, I could take away 3 plays from 3 different Super Bowls. If other players don't make them, Tom Brady doesn't get a Super Bowl. Like if who was my boy caught it on his head against the Giants or whatever, who would have? I mean, that's
David
a one
Tyree.
in a million. Who was that?
Tyree.
Okay, that's a one. That was the best catch he ever made in his career. If he doesn't make that catch, they don't win the game. And then Tom Brady's philosophy doesn't work. So it's easy to say I did it the right way when it worked, when I don't think there's a right way. I really don't.
But when he did it 7 times, though, right?
But he didn't do it 7 times. They did it 7 times.
No, I understand
the organization did it.
But he is a huge part of that.
No
and
doubt.
if he's saying that these guys need to do more, he knows these guys. He talks to these guys. It's not like he's on the outside. Him and Lamar are tight. Like him and Lamar, they talk. He's like, even when they played against each other, he's a huge Lamar fan. I don't think that's the other thing, Beck. He's not saying it as a disgruntled NFL player. It'd be one thing, and you see this a lot, just like I do. Well, in my day, or I would have done this, or I would have done that. He's got a pretty good relationship with these guys. And I just wonder the tact of like why he would say something like that. Not in a bad way, but I just think like in his own way, pushing these guys to do a little bit more. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I think his heart's in the right place. But I feel like, and I don't want to say it's like because he doesn't gain anything from this. I just also don't think he's speaking out of his ass. You know what I mean?
Well, let me say this, Jay. When I talk to my kids at Chambo, I have some kids that are into it, and I know they're just not into it like I was. They're not into it like I was. Everything was football, 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 football. They aren't that. It doesn't mean Josh Allen's not that, okay? Mm-hmm. But it does mean he's not Tom Brady because you can try to teach everybody your ways. And I did this, and I did this, and I did this. Chess Master can teach you how to play. Jimi Hendrix may be able to teach you how to play guitar, but that don't mean you're going to have the guitar on you 24/7 everywhere you go, or you want to play chess 24/7. That's the part you can't measure. And I don't know if anybody, when they speak of football, quarterbacking, and leadership, sounds like Tom Brady. It sounds insane. You've never seen other quarterbacks in Cancun, in March with shoulder pads on, taking. I mean, come on, that's not normal, bro. Relax yourself. He was so obsessed. He obsessed his family right out of there. I mean, that's just. I don't think he has a choice. And you can try to teach somebody that, but I don't think it's possible.
Do you think Allen and Mahomes have that? Allen and Lamar have it in them?
I think they are as high as it is in the NFL now without Brady. I mean, I don't even know if Mahomes is ahead of them. I really.
My question is where's the room for growth then for those two guys?
Growth is growth. Okay, growth is playing. Mm-hmm. Growth is accumulating another year. I mean, Peyton Manning in his first few years, they're like, oh, he'll never win a Super Bowl, and then he won a couple of Super Bowls. So that's growth. Listen, everybody's like, whoa, Lamar will never win one. What if he wins two? Then what? You're gonna forget everything you said back all those years. Same with Josh Allen. So Tony Dungy was never going to win a Super Bowl. Then he won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's easy. So where do you grow? You grow by growing. Lamar's growing every single year. Lamar's way better than he was 2 years ago. Josh is way better than he was 2 years ago. And you just got to keep growing until your body tells you that you can't do it anymore.
All right, last one out of me. Who wins their first? Who wins the Super Bowl first? Lamar or Josh Allen? And then who wins the most?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
well, if one of them wins a Super Bowl, that'll be it. I don't like winning 2 Super Bowls. This doesn't happen. We don't have enough time. Like, I don't think either one of those guys is gonna play. They're not both gonna play 5 more years. The odds are that's not the case. So if somebody wins one, they're probably gonna go down with the most because there's just not a lot of Super Bowls out there. If I had to pick, I would pick Lamar right now.
Yeah.
I
would go Lamar too.
Yeah,
it's just because of Harbaugh and the team, the Ravens.
He's just a lot to deal with, man. He's a lot to game plan for. But as an organization, I don't know about both the organizations. They're consistently there.
Yeah.
But they always look like they're missing something.
Yeah. They might be missing some of that hunger, baby. Some of that Ian Beckles offensive line coaching.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. What do we got up on Ian Beckles in the trenches? What's going on at the Dignitary Cafe, my brother?
Well, in the trenches is tomorrow after the game, and you coming over to watch the game tonight? What you got going on?
I got practice till 6:45, and then I'll be over after that.
Yeah, man. So we coming hanging out back here, a 10x6 screen, and we're 420 friendly, and we be back here hanging out. I don't feel good about the game though, Jay.
No,
I don't.
Oh.
I got a funny feeling our offensive line is going to be exposed tonight.
Yeah, that's why. Like I know everybody's saying that today. I feel like this could be a similar game to the one against the Lions last year, where you give up the booty, but you still win. But that's what they did last year was they gave up the booty, but they bend but don't break defense, right? And you got to Jared Goff. And I think that's why in this game, 25 to 30 carries for the running backs. And I think you need to see 3+ sacks for the Bucs defense. This offensive line is terrible, Beck. And I think in a weird way, the Bucs offensive line might be even better. That's how bad the Houston offensive line is. I've watched them a lot the last couple of years because I'm like, I thought this team was going to be the shit last year. And they're bad. And no excuses for Yaya Diaby. I think he's the guy that has to have the big game. I'm sick of the almost guys. Kalijah Cansey's going to do this. Yaya Diaby's going to do this. I don't want to have those conversations anymore.
We need 30 carries between all the running backs. If we get 30 carries, we win the game. If we get 20 carries, 15 carries, I don't like our chances.
4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Ian_Beckles. Check out the Beckles and Recher podcast on Wednesday over there at the Dignitary Cafe. Come on by and watch the game with us tonight. All right, my brother. Appreciate you. See you tonight.
Deuces.
One.